Okay, guys, so you should have already done your cross product like I did. So we found that x equals 297. So are we done? Well, what is the question asking for? It says, what was the population in 2005? But what did we find? Right? We know we did change over original. So we found the change. So 297 is the change. But it's asking us for the population in 2005. So if it increased over all those years, is our new population going to be bigger or smaller? Bigger, right? So we're saying that the big number minus the small, what's the small? The original, right? 270 is going to equal our change. So 297. So if I'm saying the big number minus 270 equals this, then this plus 270, right, equals the big number. So I'm going to do 297 plus 270. 7 plus 0 is 7. 9 plus 7 is 16. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. So so the big number equals 567. All right. So now do we have our answer? Yes, are we sure? So let's write it in a sentence. So the population increased by 110%. So we know it more than doubled from 270 to 567 bears. All right. So this one, we had to solve our proportion, and in the past problems, that was our answer, but we had to take it a next step. So this is a multi-step problem. Okay, so next problem. In October, Sarah purchased Microsoft stock for $3.45 per share. In December, she had to sell her stock. Let me fix that. All right, so let me read it again. So in October, Sarah purchased Microsoft stock for $3.45 per share. In December, she had to sell her stock for 85% of what she paid for it. How much did she sell her stock for in December? All right, so it was $3.45 in October, and then we're talking about December. So here's my original. And then December, she sold it for 85% of what she paid. How much did her stock sell for in December? So let's go ahead and set up our proportion. So I know what goes here. I put 100 at the bottom. And then we see a percent. And I know that you guys want to go ahead and put the percent up top, but we need to look at it for a second. So it says she had to sell her stock for 85% of what she paid. So is the stock increasing or decreasing? So let's look at, here's her stock price. And she had to sell it, and that it was $3.45. And she had to sell it for 85% of what she paid. So actually, we need to use this percent because we're talking about the increase or decrease. So what percentage did it increase or decrease? So if it's of what she paid, so we want to find the difference, right? So this whole bar is going to represent the whole price. So that's 100%. So we want to take away 85%. So this is 15%. So if she's paying 85% of what she paid, the remaining percent to get us to the complete price is 15%. So it was a decrease of 15%. Man, that was tricky, huh? So we want to put our percent increase or decrease here. So now to fill in over here, we have change over original, right? And I see my star, so I know this is original, so 345, and I don't know my change. So guys, go ahead and press pause, and I need you to work out your cross product. Okay, so when you did your cross product, we should have gotten to this point. We're dividing by 100, and we know that when we divide by 100, we move our decimal point to the left 2 places. So x is 0.5175. Now, if we're talking about money, right, we want to deal with what? The tenths and the hundredths place. So let's look here and see if we need to bump it up or not. Is 7 a number 5 or greater? Yes. So we're going to say that x is 0.52. So have we solved the problem? Let's look at what it's asking for. How much did she sell her stock for? Well, we know the change, right? Because x is change, is 52 cents. So I want to go ahead and take this change off to the side. So we're saying change, which is big minus small, equals 52 cents. So big minus small. If we said there was a decrease of 15%, is our original number the big number or the small number? So if it's getting smaller, then this must be my big number. So 345 minus the small number gives me 52 cents. So then if the big minus the small equals this, then 345 minus my 52 cents will equal my small. Because 52 cents plus my small equals 345. So 5 minus 2 is 3. I have to borrow over here 2. 14, 9, 2 minus 0 is 2. So 293 is my small number. And so that is how much she sold her stock for. So let's go ahead and write our answer out in a sentence. So, let's see. Sarah sold her stock for $2.93, which was a 15% decrease from 345. Okay, good. All right, so these next few problems, I'm going to go ahead and read them with you, and you guys are going to solve them on your own. So David moved from a house that was 90 miles away from his workplace to a house that's 27 miles away from his workplace. What is the percent decrease in the distance from his home to his workplace? So let's see. He moved from a house that is 90 miles away. So this is the starting house. I'm going to go ahead and put my star. To a house that is 27 miles away. So that was the original. This is the new. What is the percent decrease in distance from his home to his workplace? So you guys are going to go ahead and set up your proportion and solve it. Okay guys, so if you need help, go ahead and check your proportion. So I found that the change was 63, put it over 90, my original, and I have x over 100. So finish it up, and I'm sure that you did great, and we're going to move on to the next one. All right, Officer Escamilla wrote 16 tickets for traffic violations last week, but only 10 tickets this week. What is the percent decrease? So he wrote 16 last week. So that's my starting amount, right? But only 10 this week. What is the percent decrease? So guys, this is straightforward. So go ahead and press pause and set your proportion up and solve it. Okay guys, if you need to check your proportion, go ahead and check it now and then find out what the percent decrease is in the tickets that Officer Escamilla wrote. Okay, so last piece here, a TV has an original price of $4.99. Find the new price after the given percent of change. So this is going to be your challenge on your own. Go ahead and work through it. Good luck, guys. Okay, guys, so if you want to go ahead and check your work. So David, when he moved from his work or closer to his workplace, right, his distance from work decreased by 70% from 90 miles away to only 27 miles away. Make sure you have your answer written in your sentence. And then Officer Escamilla, his traffic tickets decreased by 37.5% from 16 tickets to 10 tickets. And in case you want to check your proportions on how to find the percent of change for these two situations, here's the proportions to make sure. So you guys are rock stars. Go ahead and figure it out. I want you to find those two new prices. All right, rock stars, go ahead and take a look and check your work. So I think that the hardest part is just figuring out, once you have your X in these situations, you have the change, is figuring out if you're going to add it or subtract it from the original price. So if we are increasing, we went ahead and added it to the original price because the new price is bigger. When we were decreasing, we subtracted it from the original price because the new price is smaller. All right, so go ahead and get started on your homework. Ask us any questions if you need help or come into tutorials, but I think you guys have a good grasp. The most important piece is just really thinking it through and analyzing it when you're setting up your proportion. And then once you solve for X, saying, is that what the question's asking for? Take it that next step, double check that you've answered the right question. All right, good job today, guys.